There's a part in the scriptures that says that your fight is not against flesh and blood, but against principalities and powers of darkness. And that has always been true, but is ever more true nowadays, especially with the advent of social media and access into people's personal life, and easy access to the individual, and the ability for mass control. Well, conservative commentator, and some may call her far right, depending on who you're listening to, they may call her far right commentator Candace Owens, has found herself in the sights of those principalities and powers of darkness, because she dared not to toe the line of the typical so-called African American or black person. She decided to think outside the box and to actually appeal to reason and to spew facts. And because of that, she's in a hell of a trouble. So like many of us during the 2020 Democrat campaign and the opportunistic use of George Floyd's death in Minneapolis, she did not jump on the BLM bandwagon and did not go singing and dancing and destroying her community. Instead, she decided to take a more rational approach, and she saw through the lies of the Democrat Party and how they were using the black community opportunistically to garner votes. She saw how the Democrat political leadership in predominantly Democrat states was using the emotional response and the sentiment of black folks to garner votes. And as such, she decided to take an entirely different stance by calling out BLM for their hypocrisy and letting them realize how much they're being used and how much they're more a detriment to the black community. Interestingly enough, post 2020, when the election was won, BLM, which was not a creation of black folks, immediately disappeared. And then there was a big fallout with the Democrat Party. And also it came to light that the leadership of BLM are the ones who benefited from the whole shenanigan, with black leadership ending up owning $3 million homes in some of the very whitest neighborhoods in America. That is interesting. So the powers that be didn't have a problem with her then, because she was up and coming, and she pretty much was fighting against her own. But as everything else, she's been blessed and she has grown and she has catered to a much wider audience. She tried working along with some established media, but again, because of her stance and her penchant for telling the truth, she had a falling out. I guess her stance on Gaza and her stance on the war in Ukraine was a little bit too much and too different for them. Bottom line, she got her own show and she got a massive following, and she was in a position where she can say exactly what she wanted to say. And oh boy, that is exactly what she did. But in the process, she ended up offending some of these great principalities and powers of darkness. And they pretty much decided to put a hit out on her. I'll have Candace explain it to you in her own words.
There was another person in the music industry who spoke out about gangs and saying that he was having his entire life taken from him and that he just wanted to be free. And he also was crazy and anti-Semitic. Wow, that is a trend. Must be a trend. We can cut to this clip of Kanye West.
Drove me to a point of exhaustion, which was misdiagnosed by a I'm not going to say what race, what people, doctor, and what hospital, and what media it went to. We know I can't say that. It was a Jewish doctor.
Kanye, I don't know what he's doing out there. Like I said, crazy anti-Semitic has not yet been accused of being a pedophile, but we'll just wait because the media can drum up essentially whatever they want. And that's exactly what has been happening to me. So you're not going to believe this. Yesterday, I was informed by some reporters who have a soul that the ADL sent around what effectively should be deemed a hit list, like went to reporters and basically said, here's everything you need to know about Candace Owens and here's how you can attack her. And they put me up on their website. Now, just to give you the background of this, the ADL has been orchestrating all of these attacks on me and their huge network of journalists, their never-ending budget, because I, at first, attacked them for defending a convicted pedophile named Leo Frank. And I don't feel sorry about that. I just do not care. So now they're pretending that I said that Judaism was a pedophile-centric religion. Definitively never said that. But who cares? Like I said, we don't let facts get in the way of a good time. And so they've sent these talking points to journalists around the world.
So this is what these principalities and powers of darkness will do to you if you dare not toe the line, and if you ever cross them. If you're not a Diddy, if you're not a Wesley Snipes, if you're not a Hoogly, if you're not a Pies, and if you're not all of these middlemen, entertainers, Hollywood entertainers, and so-called members of the African American community who sell out their people for token appreciation and for a commission, then guess what? You're in trouble. But I have a strange feeling that this woman, I know that she has the armor of God on her side to protect her. And I have a strange feeling that this young black lioness is not going to allow herself to be intimidated by the white liberal. So as I always tell you, and I like to quote Brother Malcolm, when Malcolm X says to you that the most dangerous being in the Western Hemisphere is the white liberal and that he's cunning like a fox, guess what? That is not an understatement. So as much as I believe in the spiritual protection that this woman has, I would strongly advocate that she should get some top-notch security, because there is no telling the lengths to which these people will go to try to cause harm to this young lady. There's no telling. We have seen what they have done to Brother Malcolm, how much they have facilitated the physical death and destruction of this man because he was exposing the white liberal. And to this day, there are people who won $1 million judgments against New York City. There was a particular man who was accused of being part of the assassination of Malcolm. And guess what? The guy was actually involved in it, said that he was not part of it. And this guy, after 30-something, 40-something years later, was able to get over $20 million from the city of New York. While someone was actually involved in the attempted, destruction of Malcolm was walking around freely in Newark and part of the Democratic political structure. Now, ain't that something? What does that tell you? Draw your own conclusions. But again, I can't help but reiterate that Candace Owens need top-notch protection. And I'm sure she's a smart girl. I know she probably has security walking around. But with these recent threats to her person, she needs to secure herself. And Candace Owens said something that I myself has observed, and it is very important, which is that these people who are coming after her, these people are dangerous. But more importantly, they have no creativity. They have no creativity. These white liberals have no creativity. What they do, as always is the case, they lay in the cut, waiting for talent and the beautiful creativity of black folks, and they capitalize on that creativity. And that is how they make their money. That is how they enrich themselves. And Brother Malcolm warned us about this. Brother Malcolm warned us about this. There's a part of his speech where he says they pretend to be the friend of the black community, but they're the ones who, like foxes, end up with the lamb chop on their plate. And Brother Malcolm says they pretend you see their teeth and they pretend to be smiling with you. Not because they're ready to smile with you, but when you see their teeth, it's because they are ready to devour you. And they have a very grand strategy. It's a grand and effective strategy that has been used for the last 50 years. And that is why Donald Trump is such a threat to the white liberal. That is why when he was encouraging black folks to get off the white liberal Democrat plantation, that they had to ensure that this man never stands a chance again to get back into the White House. They are part and parcel. They are part and parcel of the Democrat machinations. They are part and parcel of it. That is why they will do everything to ensure that Donald Trump does not get back in the White House, because they realize that in some respects, he's being used to liberate the black man from that Democrat plantation. And they cannot stand that. They cannot allow that to happen, because the black population of America is where they make their money. The black population of America is where they make their money. And as Candace Owens has pointed out, now they try to attach her hatred, or to claim that she hates the LGBT community. They try to say, oh, she hates the black community. So what they do is that they form alliances against you. That's part of the grand strategy, to form alliances against you. They don't believe in any LGBTQT rights. They don't believe in anything the black community does. But what they do is that they have to propagate decadent values. That is why in the music industry, they propagate decadent values to the black community. And that serves a very big purpose. It helps them enrich themselves, because they pay them pennies on a dollar. And at the same time, it helps them to destroy our youth. Our most vibrant part of the population is being destroyed and get into trouble. So, hey, when they get into trouble, guess what? They make money off of them through legal problems. They make money off of them through drug problems. They make money off of them through all kind of social problems. And there's another part of the grand strategy besides having the alliance of the black community. The other part of the grand strategy is to pit black America against white America, and to stand in the middle and absolutely benefit from that fight. That is part of the grand strategy. And the white man in America is blinded to this. And the black man in America is blinded to this.
Good. Very good.
And that's not it. So they have me listed that I espouse conspiracy theories related to the LGBTQ plus community, that I've downplayed the impact of slavery and racism on the Black community. They have where I used to work at, where I'm going. They also, my understanding is, they mentioned in whatever email went out, my advertisers. And you're not going to believe this. Lo and behold, I woke up today. So this email that they sent out went out yesterday. I woke up today with advertisers telling me that they were getting specific emails from people. This one was written by a man named Adam Goldman of the NYU Review. Hope this finds you well. My name is Adam Goldman. I'm the chief editor of the NYU Review. Does Gold Coast still sponsor Candace Owens? Because Owens has recently suggested that elements of the Holocaust may be propaganda, and that a cabal of pedophile Jews are controlling the world. Her actions have been widely condemned by Sarah Carter and Gad Saad and countless others. Does Goldco agree with the sentiments espoused by Owens? Let me know as soon as possible.
So there you have it. They are having a two-pronged approach against this woman. And they're very smart at what they're doing. So in a very subtle way, they're trying to make this woman come across as some anti-liberal woman, as some hater of liberals. And at the same time, so what they're doing is, in a very subtle way, inciting some sort of aggression against this woman. And with the sort of crazy people that we have in this world now these days, no telling what these people may do. But this is what they do. They don't have to tell someone to try to hurt you. They don't have to do it themselves, but they can facilitate and create the conditions so that you get hurt. And on top of that now, they have another approach. The other prong of the approach is a financial decimation. They are trying to destroy this woman financially. They know exactly what they're doing. So if one doesn't work, then the other could possibly work. Now that, my friends, is vicious. You must have looked at my podcast with Joy Reid and Byron Donalds. So they have utterly misrepresented many of the things that this woman has said and has tried to get her canceled. It's the same thing they did, the same strategy they used with Byron Donalds. Through propaganda, through misrepresentation of what he said, they're trying to attack him. And it's this exact same strategy that is being used against Candace Owens. They are trying to misrepresent everything that this woman has said. Because how dare you? How dare you think different? How dare you have a different opinion to the majority of Black folk? How dare you? And we are going to punish you for thinking differently. It's just like, Charlemagne the God, from the Breakfast Club, he better look out. They're coming after him because he dared said that Kamala Harris should come to the Black community and explain to us why she needs our vote, just as Donald Trump should also do. And he said that to balance it because Donald Trump has already explained to the Black community and has already shown what he has done to improve the lives of people in the Black community. But Charlemagne was saying, basically, look, we're tired of you just emotionally riling us up because he saw what happened at the DNC. And then you just expect us to fall in line and vote for you. Now tell us something substantive that you are going to do to develop the Black community. And I am telling you, he's next in line. He is next in line. They tried to give him the message in 2020 when Biden said to him, look, if you don't know who to vote for, then I don't know what to tell you. When he said that to Charlemagne, he was basically saying, boy, who the heck are you to question me? Who the heck are you to ask me what I'm going to give to the Black community? You better know your place, boy. Because these people, they have lumped all Black folks into some ghetto-loving, ghetto-fabulous group. And through their movies, and through their television, and through their music, this is what they propagate internationally. that the American black folk is some monolithic ghetto fab group of people. So you can't be intellectual. You can't question them because you're supposed to stay in line and know your place and accept whatever is being thrown at you. If you don't see through all of this, if you don't realize what is being done to you individually and what is being done to you collectively, then I don't know what to tell you. Then you're lost. And you are the only ones that can find yourselves. The bottom line is this. Candace Owens is in danger. Candace Owens is in danger. And she needs to do whatever it takes to protect herself. So I'm getting it out there. Girl, protect yourself. Because it's obvious that these people have it in for you. On that note, I will end it with a little piece from Candace. And I suggest you take a look at her entire video concerning this issue.
So just so we're clear, you guys, when people are describing gang-like behavior, this is what they are speaking about. So what's actually transpired here is at first it came, Rabbi Shmuley and the threats for me to get fired from where I was working. And then when that was achieved, they were like, okay, we've won. And then I rebrought my show back and they were like, wait a minute, why are people still listening to her? We've already smeared her and we called her an anti-Semite. People, why are her views so high? We're going to have to go harder.